This conference will now be recorded.
Jeremy, somebody? Jeremy. Yeah. Look at this.
Wow, nice monitor. I just got off the phone with Ethan Train. When he boarded that after me, only on the porch it had some shit windows, but the back door was boarded.
Okay.
I'm going to try to go to hold of the people and see because if it is indeed in the back,
Yep.
and he's trespassing.
We can hear you guys. Oh, sorry.
Especially about those quality windows.
Um,
now.
Yeah. And much bigger.
Hi, everyone. I just want to remind you this conference is being recorded. I'm doing a sound check. Gina or Jamie, can you hear me?
Hi, Nancy. I can hear you. It's Jamie.
Very good.
I can hear you. It's Gina.
Okay, very good. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to take a moment, though. Please stay standing, and let's just have a moment of silence for 9/11. Thank you. All right. I'm going to open up the meeting to public comment. Do we have public comment this evening? All right. Approval of minutes. Do you want to wait for Jamie, or can we go forward?
We can go forward.
Are there any corrections to the August 28th, 2023 regular
I'll
meeting?
entertain a
minutes?
motion that we approve the minutes.
The minutes are approved as presented.
No.
Oh, you want to do it that way? Okay.
Well,
Yep, I'll second.
all right, I do have a couple of comments. Page 3. Under the section on appointments, about halfway through the paragraph, it says, Selectman Anino suggested making the traffic safety. I think you should strike the word "the." I think you should making traffic safety as a standing agenda item and putting it on the second Board of Selectmen. I'm sorry, I didn't see the second in there, so just strike the word "the."
Okay.
Wait a second. I stand corrected. Putting it on the second Board of Selectmen meeting each month to hopefully generate action on it.
Actually, that's a good catch, because I put it on for today, but we should be doing it on the second Monday. But that's fine.
I thought I had one more, Nancy. Page 7. Under my comments, I would suggest adding to the end of the last sentence, or let me make this a new sentence. This resulting from a motion approved at the Board of Selectmen's meeting of July 24th, 2023. So that establishes what gave the first selectman the authority.
Gotcha.
Was the motion that we took on the 24th.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you. All those in favor of the minutes as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Refunds and abatements. I move to accept all of the refunds and abatements, all for overpayment, and let them follow their due course. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Department reports. Kathy Zandy, Board of Ed.
Hello, everyone. So, brief report today. So we had a successful start of the school year. A few comments on the start of the school year. So this doesn't really affect us so much, but the swing bridge over in Chatham continues to be intermittently block closed. And that affects our school bus routes, especially for the Haddam Net kids who are already on a pretty lengthy school bus ride. So STA again this year in prep for the school start ran all the buses, ran all the routes, and made sure that they could cover all the kids in that space. They go up to Portland, across and back down.
Oh, my goodness.
And some, elementary school. So it's been a challenge for the school since.
What time do they get on the bus?
Sorry?
What time do they get on the bus? Because the bridge opens at 6.
So the elementary school starts at 9, depends on the age of the kid. So
Does the bus, the
Monday
bridge
and
is open by 6 a.m.
Monday
because
and
I get the
Tuesday,
alerts
so-
all the time. I don't know why they're going
The
around.
bridge is being closed intermittently for work during the day.
during the day.
During the day.
During the
I
day.
get the alerts. They have not been closed during the day for a month. They close at night. They're doing night work only. I think you ought to get the alerts and monitor it where you don't have to run the kids all the way around.
Oh, they're definitely, so our superintendent is and the STA directors are in contact with the state, so they're definitely in contact. They don't run around. The other thing we talked about was if the Swing Bridge is closed and the Portland Bridge has an accident and can't get across, they have
Oh, my
to go
goodness.
down in 95. So they have, just in the hopefully unlikely event that happens. So all those plans are in place, and the parents are on a special alert list and that sort of thing. It's just, it's crazy that we have kids on the other side of the Connecticut River.
Well, our school bus drivers are not on strike, so that's also a benefit.
No, in fact, we did a really nice job getting our school bus drivers, the entire contract funded. On that note, if you remember last year, the Board of Education hired an assistant superintendent. Her primary goal was human resources, and overseeing human resources. Unlike most things you've heard in the news recently, we are fully staffed with all certified teachers from the beginning of the year, which is outstanding. And many districts don't have that luxury or that situation. So we're very, very pleased with that. And Jen and her team have worked really hard to get us fully staffed for the year. So we do have a couple, I believe, food service openings. I think in that there were at the last one, but fantastic uncertified staff. Over the summer, our curriculum team started curriculum council. So that's a group of teachers that across all the grades and all the subjects who have put all the curriculum on a review cycle. So over the summer, they review the curriculum and decide what needs to be updated, and then they go ahead and act on that. So it's actually kind of a reinstatement of curriculum council that used to be in place maybe 8 or 10 years ago. Which is great. Other things,
They have a walkthrough at 4:30.
They have a walkthrough at 4:30, and I think it's a 6:30 start. It's not my phone.
our properties. Great. Open house 4:36. Thank you, Eileen. And the community conversation 6 to 8.
Okay, and that's in the auditorium.
Yes, that's right. And so we're looking at different options around building new, renovated new, all sorts of different options around all the properties. We had, many of you know, we had the company Tectonics come in and do a capital assessment a couple of years ago, and they looked at all the buildings and identified the high school as the biggest need. I think that's probably a secret to most people that recent graduate giving the eyebrows. So that is an ongoing process. The goal is to eventually come up with a proposal that will then be put up for a referendum or bonding so that we can go ahead and get started on it. I think that's the main point. And finally, as I always close with our website, rc17.org. We have all the master plan materials, all the information, anything about the school district that you need to know at rc17.org.
Great, thank you.
I have a question. It's outstanding news about being fully staffed with certified teachers. I have really two questions. Have we had any turnover? And so what does that look like, maybe on a percentage basis or number of new teachers that we have?
I can get back to you on the number of new teachers. We always have teachers coming and going.
Mhm.
They move out of the district, they retire. We are always having new teachers coming in. I would say we get a personnel report on a monthly basis, and we probably see, but I don't know how many teachers we have, but I probably see between 5 and 10 teachers leaving for one reason or another.
Is it-
Staff, let me just not say teacher, staff overall.
5.
5 to 10 per month.
And do you know how many of them are teachers and why?
I have to look, most of the time, our staff leaves for personal reasons, they're moving out of town, they decide to start a family, all sorts of different personal reasons. That's my understanding. I can get back to you.
No, I'm more interested in why teachers would leave.
Yeah,
Any idea? No?
I don't have that information. I could find out.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. It doesn't sound like a huge number. What's the total number that we have, roughly?
I'll have to get back. I don't.
Okay, I'm sorry, I
Yeah, no,
didn't mean to
it's
put you on the
fine.
spot
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, no worries. I'll find out.
Thank you, Kathy. We also we have department reports from the Health Department, the Building Department, August transfers. I believe you also received Michelle's updates from the tax collectors. Any questions? I'm going to move on to budget report. Gina, is there anything that you'd like to update us on?
Scrambling to get to my microphone. No, I just be available to answer any questions. It's kind of early in the year. I am putting together a different kind of snapshot to take a look to see where we stand with ARPA funds, because it's hard to know as we move through these projects. Some are coming in under, which essentially becomes funds that are available for something else. So I'm trying to have a different kind of exhibit that's easier to see all the projects, see where we're making movements, and to keep the deadlines in the forefront of our minds. So, but with regard to this year's budget, kind of early to say, and I'd be happy to answer questions if you had any.
I will say on the permitting solution, we had only budgeted $10K for that. I did speak with OpenGov today, and we're under, by the time you add up, it's about a $16,000 a year spend, plus there's professional service to kick it off. So if we are going to continue with online permitting with use of ARPA funds, I certainly could add that to the list when we go to town meeting to ask for the addition. So that work is ongoing. Any other questions for Gina? I'm going to move on to new business, traffic safety. Lou pointed out to me that we decided to have this on the skipped appointment. Oh, I'm sorry, appointments. I have no appointments.
Okay.
That's why. No appointments.
Done and done.
I will say, we do as a group though, there's the ethics committee and the form of government committee. We should get that established before we leave. We have 5 meetings, but who's counting? We have 5 meetings left.
I don't know. So I was going to say, so there's 2 things about that. One is, I think there's a prohibition in the charter about appointing anybody within a month of the end of our term. Is that right?
No, it's actually, I took a look at it.
Okay.
So we can't do anything between the date of election and I personally can't do anything from the date of the election and the date I take office. So that week. So I think we do have time.
I thought there was something a month that we can't make appointments, or maybe it's hires for a month, our last month in office.
Well,
I haven't
we
looked
can
at
confirm
it so that's one thing. And also, anybody we appoint, would they have to be reappointed then again in November by the new administration?
All appointments get redone in December by the new administration. That's the protocol. Traffic safety, I'm going to table this until, this will be tabled until the 25th. Charter revision referendum, explanatory text. In your packet, and just let me be clear, this explanatory text is essentially the table that the Charter Revision Commission provided us. Dave went through it as well as Dawn, and they thought that this would be sufficient. They did some tweaks here and there, but they thought that this would be sufficient. And there's also a legal notice as an attachment for the Charter Revision referendum. So tonight, the BOS needs to authorize the preparation, printing, and dissemination of the proposed explanatory text related to the charter revision question. So I'm going to move to authorize the preparation, printing, and dissemination of the proposed explanatory text related to the charter revision question. Do I have a second?
A second.
Any discussion?
I have a discussion. So you're proposing this document. Would we have a copy of the proposed charter with it, with the changes made in it?
Yeah, that I
attached?
don't know.
So I think that if we're gonna move, we have to make that decision now, and I would suggest that, this doesn't mean anything without the charter with it. So I think, it sounds like the treasurer, okay, let me get my mind on town, I'm sorry, but one of those days, I'm sorry. The town would want to know what the charter itself says in, you know what I mean, all the words in context. So I think we would have to maybe amend the motion to add to this document a copy of the edited, of the charter with the edits included, obvious edits. I think it needs to be included. I don't know.
Dave did not make that point clear, but it certainly would be easy enough to have the charter available for people to review. The plan would be that we'd have these explanatory text not only here at Town Hall, but also at the library, so people could pick it up and read through it. And we certainly could have the charter there too.
With the kind of the marked change, these are the recommended changes in it. And I assume it's going to be online as well for those that don't have access.
Correct.
Yeah, so I would think this together with the marked up charter, to me, becomes a complete set.
So do we want to amend the motion to say move to authorize the preparation, printing, and dissemination of the proposed explanatory text related to the charter revision question in addition to the marked up charter as amended?
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion?
I'm just a little sensitive to the size of this document that we're going to have to send out, and I'm wondering if, I think what you said, and I don't remember, but included or printed or whatever it was, I'm wondering as an alternative, if that language simply says including access to the marked up version, and you could include maybe a link.
Yeah.
Or point out that
we could even put a QR code.
I think that would probably be more cost effective.
I agree.
All right. So, Jamie, let's go back to start this one over. So, the amendment is move to authorize the preparation, printing, and dissemination of the proposed explanatory text related to the charter revision question, providing a link or a QR code to the amended charter for people to review.
I'll second that.
Okay. Got it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next is Station 2 driveway. Full text is here. We do need to get the RFP out for Station 2 driveway before the asphalt plants shut down for the winter. Due date for the paving RFP is currently October 9th. That's Columbus Day. It's a holiday, but we do have a Board of Selectmen meeting that night. We've traditionally always had a Board of Selectmen night, even though Town Hall was closed on Columbus Day. So at this point, we don't expect the bids to be delayed because we'll have the drop box available for them to drop things off. I would just move to issue the Station 2 driveway bid as submitted in the packet. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Just reading through it, I was thinking about, we don't chip seal that, we just asphalt it, correct? Okay. All right, old business, town salt shed roof painting. Based on Walt's review of the bids, I move to award the town salt shed roof painting to Ridgeline Painting LLC for a total sum of $17,390.
I'll second.
Any discussion? The other bid was so far out of line that, and he looked through it, it was almost as if they were replacing the roof versus painting it, so. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Snow plowing. We have, the town has accepted a rate of $240 per hour provided by Trimside LLC for a driver and a truck. DPW is continuing to identify additional contractors for snow plowing, and we'll start taking a look at routes to see how this all will fit together for the winter. So that's where we're at. Animal control shelter. As discussed at our last meeting, we had to purchase a camping lantern to provide light while an animal was with us in the shelter. In speaking with Marion, we would fail a state inspection without electricity and heat. With winter coming, I recommend we consider moving forward with the $6,000 required to trench and run electric. I've got the bids there. The electric came in at was $3,075 for the electric, and then $2,800 for Drainscape.
This one.
Yeah.
The next page, yep, on your left hand.
And the $3,075 is there.
So this will provide heating as well as light.
Correct.
And electricity.
And the sooner we get this done, Marion can also go in and clean out the animal shelter, get it ready for the winter. There's work that needs to get done there.
So how was there electricity there before?
It was there. Somehow it was not run under conduit, through conduit underneath the driveway, and it just broke.
Okay.
So I move to approve an expenditure not to exceed $6,000 to trench and run electric to the animal control shelter.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, water pollution update, PFAS. I submitted a drinking water state revolving fund financial assistance application, part 1, for $699,000 to the state. All of this is just primarily to install the filtration systems here at DPW, so DPW, the fire hall, and KES. It's currently under review by the state. We expect that review will take anywhere between 30 to 60 days. I'm also working on the engineering report checklist to make sure that the state has everything they need to move forward with it. We can't even go out to bid until they approve the packet that we submitted. But I'm confident that GZA has put together a good packet, a good piece of materials for them to review, and we are in contact with the state. Things are looking good in terms of that application. I don't know how this is going to play out, this DW SRF. Will it be a forgivable loan? That's the assumption. But at this point, at least we're in there. We're making headway. One more thing to check off the list as we figure out what to do with PFAS. I also met with GZA and Connecticut Water regarding long-term water solutions. GZA will summarize available options and associated cost benefit for us, and when they have that done, I will ask them to come to a Board of Selectmen's meeting so they can review it with all of us. So that's where we're at there.
I have a question about the water systems. Am I mistaken, or have we not seen a design or
We
anything?
have not seen a physical design, you're right. And they have it all ready for us, and they've been to, for example, they've been down to the garage, and at this point, it may take up half a bay.
Yeah, but before this goes any farther, I think I'd like to see, see
Oh,
what they're
absolutely.
designing.
Yeah. So I'll ask GZA to provide that for sure.
All right.
Was the pricing for the $699,000 inclusive of building the filtration system, but is it inclusive of changing out the filter?
No, that's a secondary, that's a maintenance piece. So that's just building it out, design it, so that's $120,000 to design it, and their estimated cost is $570,000.
Their GZA?
Yeah.
So GZA, they estimated it and they're gonna do it as well?
No, they do the design work, but then it's gotta go out to bid.
So, so do we have any idea what the maintenance cost will be going forward? Because we would have to build that into our budget, our ongoing
Correct.
budget, right? So let's not lose track of that with, for planning, budgetary purposes for the new administration. That's gonna be important, because that'll be costly. Maintenance and ongoing testing, right?
We just had to, as an example, we did have a filtration unit, Wolf Hollow that was leaking. So we had to authorize, Aqua Pump to go out there and take a look at it. So
How much was that?
we don't have an estimate yet from them. So these costs are adding up. It's not just the maintenance, it's the cost for water, it's the cost for testing. I mean, these things are going to be out there for sure.
You know, the Regional Water Authority has a program called, in New Haven, but it's available throughout the state, a program called Well Safe, where you can buy services to protect your well or to protect the piping that goes from your house to, if you're in a septic system or a water system, or if you have a well system. I wonder if we ought not to ask the Water Authority or Connecticut Water if they are contemplating providing some kind of a service like that. That might be a good business opportunity for them, but to pay some kind of a fee, we can kind of plan and budget for going forward, the ongoing costs for maintaining these systems. Just throwing it out there as a consideration going forward as a.
I always thought the Well Safe program was that if something happened, the connection between city water and your house failed, that was to correct that. I don't know if that would cover the PFAS.
Yeah, no, right.
It's called Pipe Safe.
Pipe Safe, so they have a Well Safe program and they have a Pipe Safe program. So the one you're talking about that hooks to water, like city water, is Pipe Safe, but they have a Well Safe program that, if your well breaks down as well, it's a new program through the RWA where you can buy. I should have bought into it, but after our well just had a problem now, I wish I had bought into it. But, it's something I'm wondering if we ought not to have and I can bring it up at the next RWA meeting, but with Connecticut Water as well, there might be a benefit for them to provide we do an RFP and say, let's, get businesses that can maintain these filtration systems for us for an ongoing kind of like a monthly fee, then we know what to budget for it rather than the expense of it always, coming up where we don't, it might be really high one month. Something to think about.
Aqua Pump is under state contract though, so that it was state bid, so that's where Aqua Pump came into play. So DPH and DEP went out to bid. Aqua Pump, it was on the list of approved bidders for this work.
Those are residential. Will they do the large scale that we're going to have on the town hall and
yes.
the fire department?
Well, we're going to send them out to bid. We assume that they'll come in and bid on it, and there may be others that bid. NSAFE may bid, for example. NSAFE does our testing, but they also install pumps. So In terms of salt, I do know that GZA from sodium, they're also looking at installing the filtration system that'll also take care of sodium, the high sodium content that we have here as well. So that's part of their install. But I agree with you. It's time for us to see a physical design document from them. Is there any additional public comment based on what you've heard? Okay. I'll move on to selectmen's comments. Wow, 7:30.
Gotta be a record. Gotta be a record.
I'm all set.
I just have a question about the water. We've talked about kind of reenacting the Water Pollution Control Authority.
Correct.
We haven't moved on that yet, so I just want to kind of just point that we probably need to do something with that in the next couple weeks.
We do need to establish a water pollution control authority, not only for the septic, but we obviously have more to deal with than most towns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if
that
we
should
need
be on
to
our
do a
list.
yeah, either put it on our list or do a working special meeting so we can kind of hammer it out. And I don't know if Elizabeth could.
I think just to clarify, I think what we said is that this,
It's the Board of
this
Selectmen.
Board of Selectmen
It is a
the
board.
Water Pollution Control.
Well, we probably need to outline what the responsibilities are, so we at least can, put what our thoughts are to recommend, make a recommendation for the incoming administration, but also to kind of make sure we have a roadmap, because it's an easy thing, as we've seen over the last, I don't know, a decade maybe, that it's an easy thing to forget about, and we want to make sure we have a process for it.
I do know that we talked also about having a town hall for PFAS again, but I really want to be able to understand what the design is going to look like before I go to the townspeople. Whether we can, we get that design document, we have enough time to have a town hall. We're running out of window here, but I'd like to see that happen before the end of the term. Were there any comments coming from the previous meeting for the ball fields? You said there was no questions.
Very few. I think the only substantial question that I heard asked was when are the bids due? I think that was the only question.
Budget, timing,
Budget.
but real basic.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, today was a pre-bid meeting for the Arcola ball fields, and bids are due 25th. Okay. All right. On some happy notes, roof work will begin this week. The permits are being pulled tomorrow. We have a subcontractor doing the membrane work, and Lighthouse will be doing the front of the building. And then Elizabeth and I will start working on an RFP for the HVAC replacement. So the timing may be a little off here because they're working on this roof, but at some point we'll get those units lifted off. We'll get a quote to get the new units put back on and see how this all molds together. This is in the budget, so it's just getting the capital money spent.
Be prepared for a long delivery.
That's the concern.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if 16 weeks or more.
So we'll get them in time for spring. That's good.
Around spacing here.
Well, what we have is still operational.
Yeah.
Get with your lunch.
If anyone had seen our room a couple of weeks ago, it was this tangled mess of wires and stacks of computers. It was just a nightmare. They came in on Friday. They took the servers down. They re-racked them. It's as open as the kitchenette is now. So thanks to Gina for all the work that she did organizing that, but it was great. As you can see, we're working on our hybrid meeting solution that was installed today. It'll get finished up this week. We'll get training on how to go hybrid meetings, so that's good. Desktop upgrades have started. I feel real special. I have a really big monitor in my office. It looks terrific. It's great. We're starting to get into the technology that we need to here at Town Hall. There is just an FYI, there's no air conditioning at the pantry. So when you're here, can we put a window unit in for now until we figure out what's going on?
in there.
We should probably get a hold of Top Notch and have them take a look at it.
No, I would think you should have,
Oh, who's the guy that
I
did
think,
RLD or.
no, Long Hill,
Long Hill?
Yeah.
Okay,
who's done the service work for the town hall.
okay.
I think, the weather's changing since last Thursday.
But if it's the wiring that's more than the air conditioning then, right? You said wiring, right?
You know, unit that you turn for heat and air conditioning.
It's
definitely
part of
is
the-
So it's Long Hill, that's Long Hill,
Yeah.
okay. Fair enough, we'll take care of that. All right, if there's
I have a
no,
question.
oh,
I have a
go ahead.
question. You were talking about the screens, and I'm sorry, I don't remember, when we were looking at kind of outfitting and talking about this months ago, I don't remember we talked about happening. Operation, we have entities with one screen in there. There's a TV with a TV.
It's pretty good size.
Okay.
It's a three-corner.
Yeah. I've never noticed it.
Yeah.
Awesome, all right, head of the game, thank you.
All right, if there is no further discussion, I move to adjourn at 7:36. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Oh, Eric, this is for, Shay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.